The average American tax refund is around $3,275. And here's the strange part, that $3,000 was your money the whole time. You earned it. The government held on to it for a year without paying you a cent of interest. And then they gave it back. It's the least free money that exists. So why does it feel like a bonus? Why do people who count every dollar in their paycheck blow their refund on a TV within a week? The answer sits in a weird accounting system your brain runs without telling you. Economists call it mental accounting, and the man who mapped it out, Richard Thaler, won a Nobel Prize partly for it. Here's the idea. Money is completely interchangeable. A dollar is a dollar, whether it came from your salary, a birthday card, or the ground. But your brain refuses to treat it that way. It sorts money into invisible buckets based on where it came from, and each bucket has its own spending rules. Salary money is serious money for rent and groceries. Birthday money is fun money. Casino winnings are play money. And your tax refund lands in the wrong bucket. Even though it's just your salary coming home late, your brain files it next to gifts and prizes. Thaler showed this with a simple question. Ask someone what they'd do with $50 they found in a coat pocket, and they say, a nice dinner out. Ask what they'd do with $50 extra in their paycheck, and they say, bills. So the label on the money decides how it gets spent, not the amount. And with a refund, something else pushes it deeper into the fun bucket. You had to wait a whole year for it. Waiting does something to your brain. Anything you have to wait for starts to feel like a reward when it finally shows up. It's why the parcel you ordered feels exciting, even though you know exactly what's in the box. A refund arrives after months of buildup. You check the tracker, the deposit lands, and there it is. A big, satisfying lump. Compare that to the alternative, where the same $3,000 drips into your paychecks all year, about $250 a month. Nobody has ever felt a rush over $250 spread across 2 paychecks. It just disappears into the monthly shuffle. But bundle it up, make it land all at once, and suddenly, it feels like an event. Nothing about the money changed, only the timing, and your brain barely remembers the small deductions that built the refund, but it vividly remembers the day the lump arrived. So the money feels like it appeared from nowhere. And money that appears from nowhere gets spent very differently. Researchers call this the windfall effect. People spend unexpected money far more freely than money they worked for. You'd never pull $800 out of your salary for a spontaneous weekend trip because salary money has rules. But refund money? The trip suddenly feels reasonable. The purchase you'd call irresponsible in March feels totally fine in April, funded by the exact same dollars. And you don't decide any of this consciously. The buckets form on their own. The rules apply themselves. And you just feel like treating yourself, which would be harmless enough, except you're not the only one who knows the refund is coming. Businesses have known about refund season for decades, and they plan for it like a second Christmas. It's no coincidence that furniture sales, electronics promotions, and car dealership events cluster in the spring, right as billions of dollars in refunds hit bank accounts. The ads are built for exactly the mindset you're in. Treat yourself. You've earned it. Limited time only. Car dealers even run tax season events where your refund becomes the down payment. They know you're holding money. Your brain has already labeled as spendable. And they know there's a window before you settle down and think about it. The whole pitch is designed to reach you inside that window. And it works because of one more feeling the refund creates, the feeling that you have to do something with it. A lump of money sitting in your account feels like an opportunity, and opportunities feel like they expire. Letting $3,000 quietly melt into your savings feels almost like wasting it, like the moment deserved more. So people rush to give the money a purpose. And the purposes that come to mind fastest are the exciting ones. Psychologists call the pull behind this present bias. The simple fact that a reward today feels bigger than a reward in the future. Spending the refund produces a fun weekend you can feel right now. Saving it produces security you won't feel for years. Your brain weighs those two, and the weekend wins almost every time. But here's what actually happens after. The excitement fades within days. The TV becomes furniture, and the money is gone for good. The trap was never really the spending. It was the belief that the refund needed to be spent at all. So how do people escape that trap? They decide what to do with the money before they get it. Before you even file, give the money a job. 1,000 to the credit card, 1,000 to savings, 1,000 to enjoy guilt-free. Splitting it like that works better than pure discipline. Because you're not fighting the fun bucket, you're just shrinking it. And when you're tempted by something in refund season, one question cuts through everything. Would I still buy this if the money had come in my paycheck? If the answer is no, you're not buying the item. You're buying the feeling of a windfall. And that feeling is lying to you. So here's what to do next spring. When that deposit lands and you feel that little buzz, don't fight it. Just don't act on it for 48 hours. The buzz doesn't survive 2 days. What's left after is a clear head and $3,000 that still belongs to your future. And you'll be amazed how different the same money looks once the feeling wears off. What did you do with your last refund? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.